Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Reba, your optimistic diva. So today we're going to talk about being a helpful grandmother to be. Being a helpful grandmother to be. Now, everyone knows that having grandchildren is one of the most exciting times of your life. It is so exciting, whether you're the grandfather or your grandmother. Just to have a new grandchild is one of the most amazing things. It's like so wonderful in your life to have a new grandbaby, new grandson, new granddaughter. It doesn't even matter, just a new grandchild. But there's a couple of things that you want to make sure that you do. And if you do these two things, you and your either daughter or daughter-in-law, you'll have a good experience with your new grandbaby. So the first thing that I want to share is what's called asking. Yeah. You want to make sure that you ask your daughter or your daughter-in-law, how can I be helpful to you? What can I do that's going to make this easier for you? What can we do together? How can I help? You want to ask those types of questions because I know you've had 5 kids of your own, and for the most part, they're all sane. But it's different. When you become a grandmother, it is different. And I'm not going to say, grandparents, make sure you stay in your place. I'm not going to say that. I'm saying if you want your relationship to grow and be wonderful, you want to make sure you're asking questions. Something so simple as, what color would you like for your child to wear? That's a good question. I found out that pink is a color that my daughter wanted to kind of steer away from because it almost stereotypes women, and she wanted more purples and more green, lime green, blues, mauve colors. She liked the gray colors. And so what she did is she made the theme for her daughter. When she had her shower, she made the theme space. And so there's so many things you can do with space besides pink. You're talking silver glitter, gold glitter, sparkly whites, your grays, your light purples, your turquoise. You can even do lavender. You can do all types of different colors besides just a flat pink. She did not want a flat pink to be her theme. So you got to ask, what is it? What colors are you going to have your child wear? Now, that doesn't say that you don't buy anything pink. I'm not saying that. And I did buy a couple of pink things, but I respected her wishes and I started asking questions. Asking is huge when it comes to being a successful grandmother or grandfather. You got to ask questions. You can't just assume this or that. You've got to ask questions. The other thing is you have to be very, very mindful, very careful to not overstep your boundaries or speak for your daughter or your daughter-in-law. You can't speak for them. If someone asks you a question, don't just assume the answer and give someone the information. You can say, I'll get back with you, or you can say, you know what, I'm not sure, but you might want to ask them. If you do that, you're safe. You play it safe. You're not stepping out of bounds. And I say out of bounds because as parents, sometimes what we want to do is we want to take our role and we want to make sure everybody knows that we are the grandmother and that we can make decisions on things. Well, you can, as long as you're not overstepping someone else's wishes, as long as you're not overstepping their thoughts on how they want to do things. So I have two daughters, and they were pregnant at the same time. Yes, they were pregnant at the same time. They're like 7 years apart. My daughters are 7 years apart, and they were pregnant at the same time. So my first daughter, she reminded me of this. She said, Mama, you wanna make sure that the things that you're doing for Brooke is going to be helpful. I know there are a lot of things that you have in mind that you want to do for her, but make sure those things are helpful for her. And again, ask, what is it that I can do to help? What do you need from me? What do you need me to do? Okay. Because some things that we do, sometimes not only is it a waste of time, but sometimes it's not really something that is going to make their delivery or make having their child, it's not going to make them comfortable. So you want to make sure that you're making them come. When you come to the hospital, don't bring a million gifts to the hospital, because that is kind of overwhelming. If you stop what you're doing and focus on what you need to focus on, which is the baby, and just caring and making sure that you're standing or sitting by the bedside of your daughter or your daughter-in-law, if you are there, your presence is more important than you know. Your presence is more important than you know. So make sure that you are present. Make sure that you are not on your cell phone, because if your daughter or your daughter-in-law is talking or sharing some very important information, something that's dear to their heart, and you're doing this, well, you might as well not even be there. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you are present. Make sure that you are present. You can bring a present if you want to, but don't let that be your main focus. Don't let the present, don't let your cell phones, talking to other people, be the center of what you're doing when you are spending time with your daughter or your daughter-in-law. Make sure that you are centered and you are focused. And so you want to ask, what is it that you can do to be helpful? You want to be attentive. You want to be present. Try not to bring up anything that's going to introduce a disagreement, a fight, something in the past, something that you want to discuss. No, you can wait till another time to do that. You can wait till another occasion. Better yet, why even drum up old stuff? So you want to stay present. You want to ask what you can do for them, and you want to make their experience as amazing as you can. And there are things that you can do to make it amazing, but you want to make sure that those are the things that's going to be helpful, that's going to, when they look back on the whole experience, it will be something that they can be proud of, that you can be proud of, that the both of you can look back and say, it was good for us to be there. It was so good for us, for the both of us. That's what you want to do, is make sure that you are present and that you are being the best grandmother that you can be, even before the baby is born. And so we'll talk a little bit more about the things that is necessary after the baby is born, because how you move before the baby is born, it's going to be a little bit different than how you're going to move once the child gets here. And so that's going to be another video. So thank you all for listening to my YouTube channel for this session, and I'll talk to you soon.